So this is a DSi LL. This is a bronze Japanese console. Serial number WJF108479869. I'm going to quickly go over why I gave it the condition score that I did. So for the physical condition of the shell, I gave it a 2 out of 3. As you can probably already tell, this top screen or top shell piece has a lot of very light scratches on it. There's that sort of rectangular perimeter around the peak of the glossy shell, just a lot of light scratches over this. From what I can tell, normal use. That's just sort of the consequences of having a glossy shell. It's not horrible. There's no deep scratches that I can tell. Nothing that's you would be able to see it while I'm panning over. Just marks you can kind of see throughout. Around the hinge, it looks good. Nothing really of note. There is a tiny mark here between the pieces of the top screen, or the top shell pieces. Very tiny mark. Going around the edges, it looks really good. On the bottom shell, the only thing that's really worth noting is there's a scratch right here through the Nintendo sign, or the little Nintendo icon. There is a mark I did kind of notice here on the battery door, just very slight. Edges of the bottom shell are also in very good shape. And yeah, there is that little red mark, kinda. It's a little hard to see. Even under the shoulder buttons look good. The face shell pieces look really good as well. Nothing really of note. Buttons look good. There's no discoloration around the A, B button or the D-pad, which would usually come from just finger rubbing on it for hundreds of hours, I would assume. For the physical condition of the hardware, I gave a 3 out of 3. All of the buttons are in very good shape. No marks, nothing that I saw, at least. Usually the shoulder buttons are the worst case, but in this case, I chose very good buttons for this bottom shell because this bottom shell is in very good shape. My camera wants to focus on these buttons in particular. Screw covers look good. The physical condition of the screens, I gave a 2 out of 3. Now, you'll kind of notice from this bottom screen, I did a sort of poor job putting a screen protector on. I'm also combating dust in my dusty environment. So any of those specs aren't between the digitizer, they're on the screen protector or just actively falling on the screen right now. Nothing that blocks any incoming light through the screen. And the top screen, it'll be a little hard to see. There are some marks underneath the lens. These are not visible when the console is on, but I'm going through pretty extreme lengths just to show it. It's a little hard to even see kind of head on without sort of putting it against the light. For the screen condition, I gave a 2 out of 3 as well. Turn off my overhead. Now, I would say these screens are pretty well matched. I would say the top screen is very slightly more red. And I also should mention that I can detect just very minor yellowing around the bottom screen, just the edges of it. It's very, very faint. I really had to kind of look at it for a little while, turn the console off and on a few times just to sort of verify that I'm not going crazy. But my first reaction looking at it was, oh yeah, there's some yellowing around it, but I just needed to really look at it several times. So that's probably not going to come through the screen, come through my camera at all. It's an incredibly difficult thing to convey, and it's just something purely subjective that I see. And it's one of those things that these are 2 white screens. If you plan on just admiring it as it is, then yeah, that might be a issue for you, especially if you can notice it and maybe you're a little sensitive to it. Once you start playing a game, I would hazard a guess you'll forget that was ever a thing mentioned. And so that's why I gave it the score I did. And as you can probably tell, this menu is completely in Japanese. This is just part of the perks of a Japanese console. The entire UI is in Japanese, and you can't change it without going through the homebrewing process. You can even either ignore the DSi main menu and go through something like Twilight, or even go through a region swap, but that will be through the homebrewing process, which is optional. Japanese consoles are also region locked for DSiWare games. I have information on that in the description. So that's just something to be aware of when you're buying anything with Japanese firmware. But yeah, aside from that, that is why I gave it the score I did.